This is an interesting place. The HBO building. It says that we've got Citibank Handlovi here on 0 level. Doesn't say anything about Rossmann. Yes, it does. It does say Rossmann. It's got one less. Now, well, where this Citibank is, I don't know. Is that it? Oh, the second one, the second branch. The nearest one's on Jerusalem Skill 148. But if you go there, it's also shut, by the way. It's got exactly the same sign next to it. Puławska 53 is what I'm going to have to try then. Volska 12 I don't know about, but those are the ones which are there. So I shall have to close my City Handlovi accounts because it's simply not worth it to trace right the way over here to get the money sorted. I've got Millennium Banks right next door, and I've got accounts there that will do the job. I just need to move the things over. Once I've paid up my city loan, which is not long away now, I shall probably simply move it off, because this kind of behaviour, closing down several locations at a time, making me go for a long time to get anywhere. It's and when you go to one branch saying it's closed and sending you to another branch which I know for a fact is closed, it's all rather sloppy and it's not good. So I'm not going to put up with it. I've walked down here moaning at Citibank before on a film about the way they waste your time and the way they're far too expensive. The reason for sticking with them is because of the fact that they've been there. You know, I've just had things on there for a long time, and so therefore there's a lot of information already in my online banking. It's already been there for so long that it's got all the bank accounts of all the people I need. But I can just get that information off and put them in Millennium. Millennium's not bad either. It's a question of getting used to it. And since they change these things around gradually all the time anyway, given a couple of years, it's going to make no difference. The only difference is that I'll actually still have plenty of physical branches to go to. And going back to what I was talking about earlier in this walk, you should try and provide employment opportunities for other people where it's fair to do so. And letting robots do absolutely everything in this world is not necessarily brilliant. We're all going to be left effectively doing the menial tasks. But even then, the robots will come in and do them too. They take judgment out of even quite delicate tasks by making some kind of workflow with decisions. One size fits all. Systems which are not intelligent enough. So we're producing a machine-based life, but it's nothing like the culture novels, if you've read any of them, by Ian Banks. If you haven't, you should probably. That's a kind of utopian idea about machines. But even in utopia, there are things which are there to be criticised and regretted. Alia Bank, I've had my ins and outs with them as well over the past 12 months. They've got their good sides, but they didn't suit me. I closed my accounts soon after opening them. I didn't like the way that they had, in fact, well, they showed me not a particularly great side of themselves, which means that I don't think I will recommend them at all. But the people, I'll say that much, were very pleasant and did what they could, despite the fact that once again they're up against a machine which tells them what they should say and what they can't say. And often the things that they're supposed to be saying isn't even true. That was the problem. I don't like being lied to by banks. And that happens more and more, doesn't it, ladies and gentlemen? Oh, there's a lie. Sex shop. You can't actually buy sex there. It's just a lie. It's supposed to be humorous. You can buy lots of things in there that are supposed to make you have fun. But there's no fun there, I suppose, really. And certainly I don't think I'd find them very good fun. Stupid blow-up rubber women that they put on the outside of the package, something, some real woman. And of course, if you see one, well, if you've watched the film Wilt, you can see somebody getting tied to one, and in the end he throws it down a well. And the well gets buried with other things. But somebody spots him throwing this down a well at the same time as his wife decides that she's had enough of him for being a kind of, well, I think she finds him inadequate in certain areas, and she decides she's going to go off and leave him in peace, maybe also because she thinks he's had an affair or something, I don't know, can't remember the details of it. I can't remember all the Tom Stoppard books inside out. It's nice old chemical, old herbal boxes there. Yeah, there's no reason why I can't be holding it in my hand. It would be more acceptable. There's somebody's really left some, for some strange reason, left some lilac there in a tin. We had lilac in our buttonholes at my wedding. It's always been one of my wife and mine motifs. Lilac. Somebody in there's bought Lily of the Valley. I don't understand people's obsession with it. It's poison. People presumably like the smell of it, but you can't do anything with it. You can't use it other than in shampoos and things. And I don't think that the people who buy it are going to be making shampoos at home. So I have stuff hanging around in your house that's going to poison your kids and your cat. Certainly with Tanya, that likes to eat any leaf she can lay her hands on. It's absolutely not possible to put it into our house. And people shouldn't be selling things on the street like that, which are poisonous, for goodness sakes. I can understand in a florist, where you've got a florist who knows what's going on, and you go in and somebody says to the florist, well, what's that? Well, it's Lily of the Valley, Convallaria maialis. It's, by the way, poisonous, so it's only for decoration, don't try to eat it. If you know that the person's actually doesn't know what the thing is, then it's quite safe to assume, without patronising them, that they also don't know that it's poisonous. If they don't identify the plant, then how would they know that it's poisonous? So it would be absolutely correct for the florist to say, and florists should certainly know this, this is poisonous, this is going to cause irritation, that shouldn't be eaten by cats and dogs, this etc. This is perfectly safe. Other things, and they should all know this. There should be an exam, a basic exam that you take as a florist. And if you can't pass it, you shouldn't be a florist, because plants aren't just pretty flowers. Plants are the source of most of the medicines that we use. Digitalis, aspirin, you name it. And there was a time about all the medicine that was available was plant-based. And the human race survived on it and did quite well on it. Um, and so food, everything that we eat is plant-based. Well, not everything, obviously, but everything that we eat that isn't plant-based itself is based on plants. So the ones that I've just passed on my left are not selling it. They're only selling foodstuffs and cheeses and tomatoes and what have you, so good on them and for not selling that particular plant. There we go, there's a nice lived-in weathered building there. Interesting. I suppose they'll have to replaster it someday, but in the meantime we can enjoy the used look of it. So there we are. That's my plan, to get free of Citibank gradually and then only really have Millennium Bank. That's quite enough really. But in the meantime, I've got to put up with them, hard though it may be.